Welcome to the Customer Service Training for Local Businesses by the Sunshine Coast Council. I'm your host, Jo Harris. And this is Module 3.1, Improving Customer Service. There are two key parts to customer service, the customer and your staff. How these two interact, their knowledge and their history determine the outcome of their exchange. In this module, we are going to discuss improving and monitoring customer communication and product knowledge. Customer communication. The majority of customer dissatisfaction stems from poor communication. Determine if your staff asks open questions. Be sure to see the download sheet with this module for suggestions. Does your staff make suggestions based on customer comments? Do they make eye contact with the customer and smile? They should smile even if they're on the phone. It does make a difference. And do they appear interested in what the customer is saying? Product knowledge. Good customer service is rooted in how well your staff knows your products and services. Each employee should know each product and service that you provide, the benefits and features of each one, specific details on how your products differ from the competition, and how to match products with customers. For example, a banking employee should know how to suggest a senior checking account with an older customer. Monitoring. Okay, we've talked about customer communication and product knowledge and how important they both are, but how do you really measure how your business is doing in these two areas? Metrics is a form of measurement used to evaluate a person or product, and they are a measure of an organization's activities and performance. When using metrics to rate your staff, there are two types, quantitative and qualitative, which is just saying how long and how much. Let's look at quantitative first. Here are some quick ways to measure how your staff is doing based on time. Situations handled per period of time. This metric gives you a relative base for comparing two or more customer service representatives. Here's how to calculate it. For any given day, week or month, count how many individual situations each representative handled. Percentage of situations resolved to the company's benefit. This metric will help you determine the effectiveness of each customer service representative. To calculate it, just simply add up the total number of situations handled by each person or each employee, and then make judgments about the success of the outcome, and divide the number of successful resolutions by the total number of situations and multiply it by 100 to get a percentage. Time per situation. You can use this metric to determine if a rep or an employee spends their time wisely. You can also use it to determine whether an employee is more effective in one medium versus another. So here's how you calculate it. Divide the number of situations handled by the number of hours worked, and then break these down by media, email, phone, and letter if you like. This will give you an estimate of the time it takes each customer service representative to resolve a situation. And remember, the time it takes to resolve an issue via email will greatly differ from the time it takes to resolve the same issue by phone. Dollar value per situation. This metric requires more active bookkeeping, but it can also help you determine the cost effectiveness of your customer service staff. You can also use it to develop guidelines about how much time a representative should take to resolve situations related to low-cost products. To calculate it, just add up the dollar value of the products in dispute in each situation and divide that number by the total number of situations. And finally, response time. This metric will allow you to measure how quickly a customer service representative answers a customer inquiry and requires you to collect a significant amount of data, and you must decide if it's worth your while to do so. To calculate it, you must track the times of incoming calls and email messages and match them up to your outgoing call logs and email timestamps. Once you paired the messages, find the response time for each correspondence by subtracting the outgoing message time from the incoming message time. And finally, average the response times by medium, email, phone, and letter if you want to go that deep in your analysis. Now let's look at qualitative performance. Here are some quick ways to measure how your staff is doing based on the quality of their work. Review email for consistency and core values. Gather all the email and written correspondence from your customer service representatives. Review it for the obvious grammar, misspelling, effectiveness of presentation, and politeness. And also scan it for common words and decide if those are truly the ones you choose to describe your company. Monitor customer service calls. Listen in unobtrusively on your customer service calls and pay attention to the tone and manner your representative uses to discuss the situation with the customer. Survey customers for satisfaction reports. Check up on each representative by contacting a random sample of customers who have been served by him or her and ask them about their satisfaction with the company and the service they received. Monitoring and improving your customer service takes time and effort. Just remember, keeping customers costs you far less than finding new ones. Your download worksheet for Module 3.1 contains a customer service checklist that you can use to improve your customer service. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jo Harris for the Sunshine Coast Council. Bye for now.